when stuff goes viral about me, if it's true, I'm like, whatever. But when it's a lie,
I know what it's like. I know what it's like to be torn down and nobody have the full story. We need to start publicly affirming each other. That's what the world needs to see more. Not more of this, I gotta put a video up and say, well, she going through this, y'all. We need more of like, keep going, Black woman, because we need your testimony. If God has called you to do something great, your character has to be assassinated. Because
oh my God.
It has to be. Because I don't meet a lot of single men that have grown beyond who they were in high school.
So why you single? You single, y'all?
Why you gonna do me like that, B? Why you gonna do me like that?
You know I'm crazy.
A lot of women are not as emotional mature as they think that they are. I can tell you this, and this is no dig on women or sisters.
Let's try this again.
Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Let's Try This Again. I am your host, B.Simone, and honestly, I was gonna go on a whole spiel, but I'm just gonna get right into it because I know that y'all already know who this handsome man is right in front of me. If you don't know, I don't know what rock you've been under, but get up out of that rock and come on over to LTTA where I'm gonna introduce to you the amazing, smart, we got to talk off camera. This man's spirit, who he is on the internet is exactly who he is in person. He walked in just full of light, full of joy. His conversation is just so beautiful, not just on camera, but off camera. We got to speak downstairs. Dr. J, how are you?
I'm excited, man. I'm out here with Miss B.Simone. Like listen, I want to try this again.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
So I'm excited about being on your platform, and can I just say I'm proud of you.
Gosh, thank you.
Like really, I'm so proud of you for your voice and your heart, and just allowing people to see change in real time. That's big.
It's hard.
And I know it's hard, but I think that there's something to appreciate about when people get to see us evolve in real time. You know what I mean? And so for you to bear it, you know what I'm saying, in front of the public's view, I know what that's like. Yeah. To bear it all, you know, and people see that, and it comes with its challenges, and it comes with its criticism, and it comes with, you know, the conversations that people have. But man, God is pleased.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
So I feel that to share with you that God is pleased. And that's all. And to be honest, B, that's all that matters. That's all that matters.
It. God is pleased, period.
That's it, period. No comma, period.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that.
So hold on to that. Hold on to that.
Don't look at me. Thank you. Do you feel like you've ever gone through a moment like that publicly, or any moments publicly where you?
What? Oh, man. So, we don't get. So in 2018, and I haven't talked much about it, but and I feel okay to share it now. So in 2018, dating a young lady who at the time was a public figure, and only dated for 6 months. Okay. She was about 5 years older than me, and so when we were dating, I saw things here and there that I was just kind of like, you know, I'm not sure if I'm, you know, okay with what is being done and what is being said. So to fast forward, I initiate the breakup, and I said, I think it's best if we go our separate ways. And so when that happened, it was like, no, you ain't about to leave with a clean slate. And I was leaving like, you know, some stuff had happened. And when I say stuff had happened, like, it was a conversation that I shared that I felt how she was handling me and how she was treating me. I've always been a man who can express, you know, what I feel, because I'm the only boy. And so I grew up around women, and I grew up around men who did not know how to say what they felt. So I had found a way to share how I felt about something that she had said and how she had handled me. And she didn't like that. And so when I, you know, exited the relationship, she had tried to, you know, initiate this conversation where we could possibly come back together. So long story short, we don't come back together. She actually invited me to a therapy session that my mother told me not to go to.
Your mom knew.
My mom
She's
knew.
like,
My
"This
mama
is a
said, do
trap."
not take your black behind to that thing. I'm saying, well, mama, well, I can go and get closure. And I want to say this to the people.
Okay.
When you're looking for closure, you have to be very careful, because sometimes closure can also expand the wound.
Okay, explain that.
So if you're looking for closure and you don't get what you were looking for, whatever wounds that were created before you were looking for closure can actually be irritated. So it's almost like it started off as a small sore scab, but all of a sudden it gets irritated, and that thing begins to deepen, and it begins to widen, and becomes even more irritated. And then it takes it longer to heal.
Like if you don't get that accountability or that apology or that.
Exactly.
Okay.
And sometimes, a lot of times, I think closure for most of us, and I'm not saying that it can be egotistical, but a lot of times closure is for the comfort, for us to feel that we can move forward.
Yes.
And if you know anything about God, he won't give you closure to some things because he needs you to trust him to move forward. Because for me to have gone back into that room made matters worse, is what I felt like. So in that, man, I would never forget this. Man, it was May 9th. I go on, I'm not following her. I'm at the gym working out. My phone is blowing up, and people like, yo, dude, what did you do? I said, what y'all talking about? They was like, bro, have you been on the internet today? On the gram?
That's so triggering when people say that.
Man.
People text me like, how are you? You okay? I'm like, what happened? Am I on the shade room? They're like, I'm just checking on you. I'm
Man,
like,
it's
like,
so somebody sends me the clip. She is crying,
oh my
tears.
God.
He did this and he did that. And I'm like, oh my God. That was just the tip of the iceberg. Then it went to the news.
Oh my God.
So at the time, this word abuse was being thrown around in the midst of the Me Too movement. So people were catching all types of stories. And so, and God said, I walked into the bathroom, and this is why it's important to have such a relationship with God, that even in the midst of a trial, you can hear the voice of God. And God said to me, don't respond.
Be quiet.
Be quiet. I was quiet for about 2 years, never said, and I took everything. I lost speaking engagement, followers, because people like, oh, he did this, he did that, didn't do nothing. And I didn't say anything because I trusted God in a time where he said, trust me. So when you ask if I've gone through something public, absolutely, because the most difficult thing is to deal with something public that should be private.
Man, that should be private, and to have to read and see lies about you and you're not vindicating yourself. God is telling you to be quiet. Right. And it's not, when stuff goes viral about me, if it's true, I'm like, whatever. But when it's a lie,
man,
and to be quiet, that's some true
it's
obedience.
Painful. And it's painful. And I was so obedient in that process because I knew God was doing something, because a lady had come to me months prior, and she says, God is getting ready to elevate you, but you're getting ready to go through a storm. And when she said that, I was just like, oh, Jesus, man.
Let me buckle up.
Man, because I had no idea that would be the storm. And then I also had no idea how long the storm would last.
Yep.
And I think it's something to be said for when we can respond to the voice of God and obeying what we don't understand, because obedience is best displayed when you don't understand. Mm-hmm. And I didn't understand what was happening, but I also trusted God in such a time because I didn't have anything else.
This was the only option.
It was my only option.
At this point, yeah.
And then too, I'd never forget this. So in this session, the therapist says, Jay, tell me how you feel. She wants to, rekindle and rebuild the relationship. Can you guys restore it? Just tell me how you feel. This is a safe space. This is in 2018.
Does it take you way too long to apply makeup every morning, baby? Me too. Y'all know I'm super busy and I'm always on the go, and Jones Road Beauty just made my makeup routine so much easier, you guys. Plus, I hate the heavy caked on look. I'm obsessed with the Jones Road Beauty Miracle Balm. It actually enhances my skin instead of masking it with layers of makeup. It gives me the effortless, natural natural look that I always was looking for. I absolutely love the Miracle Balm. It's replacing multiple steps in my routine. You can use it as a highlighter, a bronzer, a lip tint. It's the ultimate no-fuss multitasker. I love that it makes doing my makeup so much easier and faster because it doesn't require brushes, no complicated routine. Just use your fingers and go, baby. It gives me a natural glow in under 60 seconds. The best part of Jones Road Beauty, all of their products are actually good for your skin. Every formula is packed with skin-loving ingredients. It nourishes your skin instead of clogging or caking. It looks and feels natural, like you're wearing no makeup at all. Modern day makeup that's clean, strategic, and multifunctional for effortless routines. For a limited time, our listeners are getting a free cool gloss on their first purchase when they use the code b.simone at checkout. Just head to jonesroadbeauty.com and use the code b.simone at checkout. After you purchase, they will ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them our show sent you.
This is when I really knew that when somebody said this is a safe space, it's not. That's triggering to me.
I'm glad I didn't say that. Welcome to Let's Try This Again. This is a safe space. I've said that before.
Listen.
God told me to not say it.
Listen, because the girl ended up doing a live, and guess who was on the live?
The therapist.
The therapist. And what I realized in that moment, and I tell brothers this all the time, and I tell sisters, listen, you never have to say where safety is. You can identify it. It feels safe.
It's a feeling. It's a knowing.
It's a knowing. There's a conviction in your spirit that this feels like home. It's almost like somebody trying to tell you, I'm a good person. Don't tell me. Just
show
be.
me.
Like just
exist.
Just be. And man, let me tell you something. This is why, like, for people like you and all the other people that I'm connected to in entertainment or platform, I have such a compassion about people who have platforms and who have the voices of people. And I can't put my mouth on people because I know what it's like. I know what it's like to be torn down and nobody have the full story and only they have their story. And I've also learned to be okay with that. You have their version and that's fine. And I'm okay that you don't have my side of the story. So when I see people like yourself and others going through, I pray. This is why I tell people, stop putting your mouth on people when they are going through things. Because, baby, you don't know when your day is coming.
Come on.
But then when you understand when God has took you through something and brought out, baby, I get on my knees for those people because you cannot be who God has called you to be and not think that the enemy won't attack you.
That's it.
Because not all attacks are attacks that are instigated by you. There are some attacks that the enemy has set into place to discourage you.
Okay.
There's something, Joseph never asked to be thrown in the pit. He had one dream and shared it with his brothers. And they threw him in the pit. What did he do to deserve that? What did David do to deserve? What did Moses do to deserve to be thrown in a basket and sent down a river?
It's like it comes with the calling.
It comes with the calling. It comes with the calling. And I had to learn that if God has called you to do something great, your character has to be assassinated.
Oh my God.
It has to be. Because it is a sure sign that he's put something in you, because he's going to allow what they say to push you closer to what he said.
To him, to listen to his voice, to not care about outside validation. Who does he say you are? What has he told you to do? Exactly.
And that's why we have to be so assured in him.
In him.
Because the naysayers, the whispers, the noise, they are there for a reason. Either they're going to drive you into your purpose or they're going to draw you away from your purpose.
Man, that's good. And that we were talking about that downstairs, you guys. This man, first of all, he got spiritual gifts. He's a pastor. He's a deacon. He's a reverend. He's a bishop.
Oh,
he's
man.
Prophetic. I know y'all feel it through the screen. I know it. But we were talking about spiritual gifts. And I think what you're explaining is when you heal, we were talking about healing and wholeness.
Yeah,
I want to get into that because what you're explaining to me is when you get to that point, you've made it through the healing and now you're whole because you can stand on the anchor of who God says I am, not who people say I am. I'm not worried about outside validation. The noise, I mean, it might bother me, but it doesn't shift me. It doesn't sway me. It doesn't control my emotions because now I am whole. Explain to me what we were talking about, the difference between healing and wholeness.
So there's a quote that I coined in my book, Just Heal, Bro. Healing is a journey and wholeness is the destination.
Okay.
There's a reason that I didn't say healing is a destination.
Okay. Healing is the process.
It's a process.
Okay.
And healing is a continuing thing. And that doesn't mean that you're always healing through something traumatic. Sometimes there's parts of us that won't be healed until we're in a marriage, until you're in a relationship, until you are in the career, until you are out of the friendship, until you have written a book. There's parts of you that will always be healing because there's parts of you that won't be revealed until you are in certain stages of your life. That's why healing is a journey. I think when we hear healing, we think so deeply and we think that it's a process of I gotta go through my childhood. There's some things that that you heal through that wasn't from your trauma. Some things you're healing through from your perspective.
Okay.
You know, you just had a bad perspective from a bad experience that wasn't attached to your trauma. So for an example, there are some people that may get healed from their prejudice.
Okay.
Because, well, I heard Black people were this way, and that was from either a explicit bias or an implicit bias. Either it was from something I saw on television or something that I heard my grandparents say, they're all this way. And all of a sudden I come across a b.simone and I realize, oh, not all Black women are angry. And that heals your perception. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that person never had a traumatic experience with a Black woman or a traumatic experience with a Black person. So there's some things that you will heal from just because life is so nuanced.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's why I say healing is a journey. Now, wholeness being the destination is you do want to arrive at that place of awareness, that a place of lacking nothing, where I'm not lacking love.
I'm content, or I'm okay.
Content. You know what I mean? I am satisfied. We often confuse content with complacement.
Okay.
We think when people say that they're content, we think that they're complacent.
Okay.
And so awareness is also knowing that even as I'm continuing on this journey, I'm aware of my triggers.
Okay.
I'm aware of the landmines. As I say, triggers are nothing more than emotional landmines. And if you're unaware of it, somebody would step on it and set something off.
Blow up.
And you blow up and all of a sudden you don't know it. So wholeness is a sense of awareness. It's a sense of completion within self. And while you are completed in your mental capacity, maybe your emotional capacity is still being stretched. Maybe it's still being, in some ways expanded to where you're like, man, my mind is settled, where I'm not having these trauma loops, where I'm in this cycle of these negative thoughts. I've healed from the negative internal dialogue that I have with myself. So I speak positive thoughts. So I'm whole in that place where I'm aware of what my thoughts, I'm aware of when a thought isn't mine. I was around somebody and they was talking about life and how it's this and that. And all of a sudden I find myself like, man, I don't feel like nothing is going right. And then you arrest yourself like, whoa, wait a minute. That's not my thought.
Okay.
That's awareness and wholeness.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
But then you have the ingenuity to say, you know what? My mind is settled, but my heart still fractured.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because I could say this as a single man that it took a while for me to work through the issues of my heart, the matters of the heart, and then also the complexities of my mind.
Why do you say as a single man? Are you
because
referring that to romantic relationships?
Not only in a romantic relationship, but also just in the self-awareness.
Okay.
Just to be able to self-actualize. I don't meet a lot of men. Now, my circle of friends are very evolved, but I don't meet a lot of single men that have grown beyond who they were in high school.
Wow. Okay.
Because to be expanded, that is environmental.
Okay.
That is also in community.
Like you said, the community, the marriage, those things are expanding you and elevating you as a person.
Exactly.
Got
and
it.
so because here's the thing, if you, and I say as a single man, because most men don't grow unless they're in a relationship.
Okay.
And not just loving relationship. You have to be in relationship with somebody to grow.
Okay.
Because it forces you to see yourself.
To see yourself.
It forces you to think outside of yourself. Like when you're in a relationship, whether it's a job, whether it's a team, or whether it's a business, it always challenges you to see beyond your own perspective. Mm-hmm. And if you're single and you're not in relationship with somebody or in relationship with someone that is stretching your thought process, you don't grow.
Okay. Okay. That's a perfect point. Okay, so why are you single? You single, y'all?
Why you gonna do me like that, B? Why you gonna do me like that?
You know I'm crazy. I was trying not to.
Why you gonna do me like that?
We was having a deep moment, but yeah, why you single?
So, wow, let me see how I'm gonna unpack this. So I will say this, to be at a place where you have healed and you have evolved, it shifts the way you see not only people, but it also shifts the way you interpret. And not saying that I'm there, but there's such depth to me. So I can't come in as a whale and be connected to someone who's a swimming pool. And because I have such depth and because of what God has called me to do, I pour a lot. So if there isn't anyone that has a depth, doesn't have to be equal.
Okay. Okay.
But a depth to where you can meet me and fill me back into the ways that I pour out. That's very hard.
Okay.
Because, can I be honest?
Be honest now. What you about to say? He said, hold on now, let me think.
I can tell you this, and this is no dig on women or sisters. Real talk. And me and my mother had this conversation. Okay. My mother said, because your father was not as emotionally competent and evolved as you are, I didn't really start growing until you and our relationship began to shift when you started healing, because I only saw men from the version of a broken lens.
This is your mother saying this. Mm-hmm. Okay, got it.
So, so a lot of times, a lot of women are not as emotionally mature as they think that they are. Mm-hmm. Now, are they more emotionally expressive? Yes.
But the maturity aspect.
The maturity of it. How do you hold that? How do you manage that?
Right.
Understanding the wisdom that is required with your emotion. Right. Because, again, I don't have an issue with you feeling.
Okay, well, you're a therapist. You think I'm emotionally mature? Come on now, rate me.
So...
Scale from 1 to 10.
So I'm gonna finish my point and I'm gonna come back to that.
You look like you're childish.
No, not at all. So a lot of times, right? A couple years ago, I was trying to get to know somebody, and good person.
Okay.
It was because I don't meet women who are not.
Right.
But I remember her saying to me, and she had been married, and she said to me, "This is challenging."
Dating you.
Yeah, getting to know me. And she says, why?
Yeah.
She said, you're asking questions my husband never asks. And I'm like...
Insane. Yeah, I get that though. I get that.
I'm like, and I said, what do you mean? She was like, you're asking me these in-depth thoughts. And not because I was probing, because I needed to see who are you. Not the you that's successful, which I'm grateful, but I wanted to see what was your own level of emotional capacity that you can hold for yourself. Because if you can't feel you, how can you feel me?
For sure. And when you say these questions, I'm sorry to cut you off, but remember, you are a therapist. He's a family therapist, you're a doctor. So are you going into these relationships being a therapist?
Never. Now, my ex, who's phenomenal.
Okay.
And I've talked about, we had a miscarriage that was very traumatic for the both of us.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry to hear that.
And several years ago, man, she's phenomenal, and we're still friends to this day. And she always says to me, she said, you know what's so dope about when we were dating and even friends? You were never a therapist to me. She's like, I forgot the work that you did. I don't show up as Dr. J. I don't show up as, I'm not trying to clinicalize you. I'm not trying to therapize you. I show up as Jay.
Okay.
Because that's who I am every day.
Okay.
And so I never go into these things, like, I don't ask questions like, you sound like you've been interrogated, or you sound as if you are on this interview. It's not like that. I'll ask questions because I want to locate you.
Okay.
And when I was talking to this young lady and I asked her something, and it really choked her up. And I said, tell me, where are you in this season of your life? That
probably things she's never even thought about. It's not that profound, but it's like
exactly. And
like you said, trying to locate her.
And it was like, what do you mean? I said, are you open in this season? Like, I know you're not in a relationship with somebody, but it's almost like all invitations doesn't mean there's a welcome.
Wow. Okay.
So you can be open, but does your posture say that you are available emotionally?
Okay.
Because, and when we was having this conversation, she's like, why? I said, because what I do, what God has called me to do, it requires a woman to be so emotionally in tune. Because there's sometimes I don't have the words. And I can say what I feel and I can express it. And I'm not somebody where I'll be sitting in the house and I'm not going to talk this and that. But there's some times where you got to be so in tune where you can pick up
what's happening. Discerning.
That's
it.
And so it's no different. So I'm going to put you in this seat. If any man is going to walk with you, he has to be able to see you beyond this.
100%. 100%.
Because if you only see, let's try this again, you'll always miss where I'm at.
100%.
Or miss where you are. And I think we have
and who I truly am. This is a part of me.
Exactly.
It's not all of me. My career is not who I am. My platform is not who I am.
And I think the issue with people like us, probably why you single too.
I don't know why I'm single. Let's go into therapy session after
because
this.
The issue is that if I'm going to really get to know you, I have to remove this. And we have a generation of people who like the idea of what we are and what we represent.
And how people see us.
And how people see us. And
the access we have.
Exactly. For any man to walk with you or for any woman to walk with me, they have to be able to remove us from what we do. That's not who we are. You know what I'm saying?
Got it.
Because there's parts of you, and I'm going to be even more transparent. I never forget, she walked in the house, like she was coming over. She came over to see me one day and she walked in and I was sitting on the floor crying. And when she walked in, I got up and I'm wiping my eyes and she's, everything okay? I said, yeah, I'm just, because I had got off the road and I had finished speaking to about 400 or 500 men. And I was sitting on the floor because I still felt the weight of these men.
Wow.
So there was so much that I really couldn't say, but I was also able to explain to her in some parts how much I feel.
You were almost grieving for them.
Exactly.
Jesus.
I was grieving for them because I had a man, it's like a 67-year-old black man that had walked up to me and he said, man, I've been carrying something since I was 13. And you just allowed me to release that. So me sitting on the floor was me grieving and then also me mad at God.
Why?
Because I'm mad at God because I'm like, I don't want to feel this right now. I want to be able to just sit in my home and be totally removed. But when you have this call, and I'm sure you are experiencing this now, that you can feel the weight of some women who are yearning for connection.
Oh, 100%.
That are yearning for
Especially in person events, especially when you meet these women.
And how heavy is that?
Yeah, and because you can see them. I'm like, I see you. I believe in you. I have faith for you. Like, you can do this. You can get out of this space. Like, I see these women. So I cry with them, you know, and it's not from a place of like, pain, but it's like, I'm telling you, you can do this. Like, if you do these things, you can get out of what you're feeling. Like, hold on to God a little longer. It's like an encouraging thing, but you feel it.
And then you feel it, and then we have to go home.
Yeah.
Alone.
And act like it. Yep.
And there's nobody to hold you. Now, we can be, we can move very meaningless and have a body, but when you have true calling and true purpose, baby, you can't place nobody in that spot.
That's just foolish.
Like you can't. Yeah. It's too dangerous.
It's too dangerous.
It's too dangerous for your anointing. It's too dangerous for your calling. And then you open yourself up for attacks.
Just doorways.
So exactly, because if they cannot see you for who you are, they will mishandle you, and you will either be exploded or abandoned or neglected. And then you have to sit with the pain of feeling like, really?
That's it. Man, I want to piggyback off that and encourage any woman out there, men too. I know y'all listening, y'all here for Dr. J, but I encourage you, because what he just said, not just picking anybody to just lay with and have that companionship if they're not the right person. They're not who God called you to be with. Like, it is time to let that go. Man. So God can stretch you. He can move you into your destiny, into your purpose, and you can get aligned with what he has called you to do. And you're going to have to let him be your companion for a while. And I've been there. I am there, y'all. I've been single for 4 years now. And it does get lonely, but you know that it can't just be anybody. You just said that you can't. You're opening up too many doorways and pathways to falling back, and you going back to what God already delivered you from. There's so many numbers in my phone. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I had a little moment a week ago. I'm like, now I could call this nigga. But for what? Man, God already delivered me from that 2 years ago.
Come on, tell the truth, say the devil.
It's gonna come back.
It's
gonna come back 7 times worse. Ain't no need for me to text that man. He is not a part of my purpose. He's not a part of my calling. And I know he damn sure ain't a part of where God is taking me in this season. For one moment of my flesh, wanting to feed my flesh, just could open up just months and months and months of things that I'll have to undo. Man,
listen, let me tell you, you're blessing me right now. I travel with my assistant, my best friend, sister at times, CJ, my sister Priscilla, my best friend V. I have such great accountability partners.
I love that.
And I'm on the road a lot, speaking and pouring. And I have a thing where when I'm done, I shake hands, kiss the babies, sign the books and all of that. I go to my room.
Yeah.
You know
I think E.T. and CJ, they were talking about that. Shout out to them.
Go to your room.
Straight to the room. Oh, maybe that was Kevin on stage mentioned that.
Yeah, Kevin was saying something.
Meet and greet, straight to the room.
You go straight to the room.
Don't stop for food. Don't pass go.
my old manager, who's my friend Crystal, man, she will appreciate this. I remember when she first started managing me, she told me, she said, "You are so anointed and powerful."
My God.
And she looked me in my face. She said, "When you get off stage, shut your mouth." Just like that. I was like, "Don't be talking to me like that." She was like, "Nigga, shut up.
Be quiet.
Be quiet." And I say, because I never forget this lady, I came off stage, this lady was like, "Oh, da-da-da." And I was nowhere where I was now. And she said, "Jay, be quiet." She says, "Because of what you carry, it opens people up."
Okay.
And so she says, while you down there talking to these women, they're already open. Okay. And guess what? They're going to receive you.
Okay.
You all know. Yeah. She said, "Be quiet," because you don't want to allow yourself to fall. So with that, it's allowed me to move in integrity. Because I'm in a mental health space where I'm around beautiful women who are smart, intelligent, all the things. And when I show up, I want to be respected, honored. I want to be paid.
Yeah.
Because when you start moving very careless and you're not, and then too, I fear God too much to play with what he's put on my life.
Come on.
So I refuse to use my gifts to manipulate and to in some way, to use it to advance me. Like I don't believe in that, because I've seen men fail and I've seen men, you know what I mean, have this oil, and then I've seen God remove it.
Remove it. My God. Jesus.
I saw this in my home, so with my father. So I have this reverence. And yes, I'm a man. Yes, I desire connection. And yes, I desire to have somebody. And what you're saying, I just told my homeboy yesterday, I was on the road, and he's on the road too. And he's, in a beautiful place in his life. And he was like, bro, I just want somebody to hug me. And I'm like, I'm like, because I'm gonna tell you,
it happens.
When you finish pouring, you have to be so careful, because even when you finish pouring, you're open.
You're open.
You're vulnerable.
Open. Even at meet and greets, as I'm hugging hundreds of women,
I'm
praying
energy.
as I'm hugging.
All that
energy, all that, yeah.
And then
it's
if
a
you're
lot.
not careful, baby, you'll look up and you would have carried somebody's spirit at home.
Ooh,
man,
Jesus.
Listen, so many nights I had to open my patio door and start praying in tongue. Because listen, I remember this guy had a suicide spirit on him that was so strong.
Jesus.
I would never forget this. I get home, B, and I have a gun that I don't like it to be near me.
Okay.
And I keep it in my closet. And I live in a very nice building, so I don't have to, I just have it. I feel like every man, if you live in Texas, you got concealed carry license. So I came home and I just was drawn to the room. So I went, stood in the closet, and I'm just standing, this is true, so I'm standing in the closet just looking at the gun like this.
My God.
And I went, laid down on the couch, and I got up, and I was just looking in the gun and just pacing. And it hit me, and God said, pray. The guy had such a strong spirit of suicide. I carry blessed oil with me everywhere I go. I grew up with a mama who gonna oil you up.
I know that's right.
And we finna cast out whatever. Again, you might not, I believe in it. I got up, I anointed my door, and I just started praying in the spirit, and I just started breaking off. And I said, listen, I gotta go to bed. I said, this spirit cannot rest here. You got to get up out of here in Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name.
I said, I got to rest tonight because I got stuff to do.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I just felt this relief.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I sat outside on my patio, and I just sat there and just breathed, and I felt this relief. And because see, when you're doing healing work, we are stepping into dominion. People who are in strongholds, because if you don't understand your trauma, the enemy has also bind himself to your trauma, and he's now using the trauma against you, and now that thing becomes a stronghold. So when Paul talks about laying aside every weight, you can't lay nothing aside that you don't have a hold of.
Yeah.
That you don't have power.
Not even aware of. Hold up. Yeah.
And you're not even aware of it.
Yep.
So we up here hugging people, touching people, whether you shaking somebody's hand or whether you holding somebody's hand, those spirits are transferred.
Jesus.
And so I'm working with 500 men. So I'm carrying all type of stuff. And I said, God, you got it. I said, I don't mind doing this. I know what you called me to do, but I got to have a plan. So when I get off stage, I get right on the phone with my mom.
Okay.
And she go to praying.
Every time.
And she said,
wow.
I'm going to do this until your wife comes.
Wow.
Because we got to be covered.
Wow. That
and
covering.
So,
now I could pray, Jay.
So.
I could pray now.
I love it. Ain't nothing like a good praying woman, man. Ain't nothing like a good praying woman. Come on.
You know I gotta play. Man. Okay.
So what I love about this conversation is people get to see our humanity inside our extraordinary gifting.
That's it. Because you're still human.
Still human.
That's a good segue into spiritual gifts. I want to talk about that. Your spiritual, look, he like, you going to put it, I thought we was going to pass that. No, I want to talk about it just a little bit, however far you want to go.
Yeah.
But just your gift that I'll let you say it, but you realized you had a gift at a young age. Tell me a little bit about that.
So at the age, my parents are pastors. And so at the age of 7, I started having visions and started waking up in the middle of the night, and I started saying what I saw. And my parents, I was in gifted and talented classes because my parents realized early on that, all right, we're raising a gifted child. So when my parents figured out that I was prophetic, I told them something and they was like, this boy is talking crazy. And so it came to pass. And so I never forget this. My dad was, he was a associate pastor at a church. They were in the midst of a transition. And so I get up and just felt compelled. And I gave this, there was a guy, I could see him now. He was on the piano playing, just playing. So I'm like 8. And I got up in the pulpit, because I grew up in Mississippi, so the Baptist church has those pulpit and they have this tall, thing. So I get up like and I'm standing on the podium and I looked at the man and I said, God said, choose you this day whom you're going to serve. And he said, you have to choose.
Wow.
The whole church was like, so my dad, after that, my dad interfered. So my mom was Pentecostal.
Okay.
So it wasn't uncommon for me to see speaking in tongues and understanding the edification of being filled with the Holy Spirit. Like that was normal at my mom's church, but my dad was a Baptist pastor.
Okay.
So after church, we're in the office and my mom and dad is going at it. And my dad is like, I told you, Mary, you need to shut this boy up. He can't be getting up in church and doing this and blah, blah, blah. So they're going at it back and forth. And my mom's like, well, Jimmy, you need to let God use that boy. God is using him. Why you da-da-da? We knock on the door. It's the piano player. My dad opens the door and he said, Reverend Barnett, your son told me something that God has been dealing with me on. He said, Reverend, on Fridays and Saturday nights, I play in the clubs.
Jesus.
And on Sunday, I come and play for the church. And God has been dealing with me that I need to make up my mind and stop teetering. My dad was just standing there like, and my mom, I told you that boy can see. I told you that boy is prophetic. And I'm a kid. And, when my parents divorced, I hid my gift because when they were married, we were a church family. So they began to cultivate my gift. But when my parents divorced, I felt like I don't know where I belong, because anytime you have a gift like that, if you're not careful, people will exploit it early
100%.
on.
100%.
And my mother was very overprotective of me. She guarded that and I tucked it away. And I didn't pick that gift up until Crystal started managing me. And Crystal I loved her because she was so real. And she told me, she was like, stop running. You are a prophet.
Wow. Did the wording of it intimidate you?
It
like the word prophet.
Yeah, because it's like, I'm never going to be like, I'm prophet. People who do that, I can't understand. Like, I don't want them prophets. Yeah. And she said, God is going to use you in a different way, but Jay, if you don't stop running, it's going to cost you and you're going to be forced to. So I left Houston and moved to Atlanta, ran. I was in Atlanta about 10 months trying to find work. Nobody would hire me. I got rejected every place I went. Couldn't leave the house. And God isolated me and he said, either you're going to surrender or I'm going to force you to in this season. And the force wasn't, because see, God is not a God like I'm going to force you.
Yeah.
He'll create situations
that make you choose. Yeah.
That make you.
Because you still have to choose.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that force was like, okay, we're going to do this the hard way. Man, every night being wakened 3 o'clock in the morning, he's talking. I'm talking about, he said, nobody's going to hire you. I was in the last year of my grad school trying to find an internship. Nobody would hire me, B. Nobody. I couldn't call. I didn't have no friends. I couldn't reach out. I mean, it was like he just removed everything. And one day I connect with this lady who says, hey, her name was Zion. And she says, hey, you need to meet this prophet. She said, you got to stop running because he took everything. everything. And I'm just keeping it surface. He took everything. And he said, she said, you got to meet this guy. So I met him. We get on the phone and we get to talking. And the first thing he said, when are you going to stop running? And my thing was, I didn't want to do ministry like my dad. That's why I ran. And then I also didn't know how I could show up in the world because I did not want to do that. So he mentored me for 3 years. And taught me how to use my gift and taught me how to honor my gift. Because I said, bro, I don't want to use this gift to manipulate. I don't want to use this gift for my own gain or anything like that.
Yeah.
And he began to, mentor me and help me sharpen my gift. And it was when we come out of grad school and when you go into your practicum phase as a therapist, you have to have a supervisor.
Okay.
So you have to be, which is called your supervision. So you are practicing as a therapist, earning your hours to graduate. But the supervisor is to walk you through that. And it was an old white man, Mike, who recognized my gift. So when we're in supervision, you have to video your sessions. So you're videoing yourself working with the client. So one day we're watching the session and I picked up on something that the client wasn't said. I'm just flowing, right? Because normally I'm always taking notes and mapping with the client. And Mike stopped the video. He said, how did you know that? He said, he didn't share that. How did you gauge that? Because if you've done therapy right from the school, clinical, there is a protocol or a model that you should work with.
Okay.
You shouldn't just be talking to people. That's not how therapy works. And I showed him my notes. He said, that's not in your notes. How did you know that? I said, and he sat there and waited. He said, I'm going to say this. He said, this may not be coming out right. But he was like, and he didn't know I was a believer. He said, well, do you have a clairvoyant gift? Because people in the world would call it clairvoyant.
Which means what?
So it's what they would call a psychic, right? Clairvoyance.
Got it.
So
got it.
Faith-based, biblical.
This is our spiritual gift from God.
Prophetic, right. So I said, yeah, I do have that gift. And he said to me, I picked up on this as I've been working with you, and I just waited for the right time to say it. He said, you can use it, but he said, you got to manage that so you don't miss steps with the client. Because they don't know. You know what I'm saying?
You just jumped off of
so,
yeah.
And so, so I thank God for when I started leaning into it, God sent me people to show me,
kind of help you
how to navigate through that. And so that's been, but it was especially like dating, man, because sometimes I'll be.
Oh, you could see. First date, this is not my wife. The second date,
man,
she got this problem.
Listen,
don't
man.
Don't be looking at me. No, don't touch me, prophet. No, stay over there.
Man, listen, do not call me. So I'm gonna give you this one time, right? This one time God really dealt with me, man. So
LTTA family, are you a part of the exclusive LTTA app community? If not, you're missing out on exclusive content just like this. The app is still invite only, so join the movement now for exclusive content, BTS, and private events, y'all. Make sure you go to ltta.app and register now to unlock your invite. Yes, the app is invite only, and you don't want to miss any more content, so go now. That's ltta.app. Go unlock your invite now.
This lady was coming out of a divorce, or separation rather, man. And I'm talking to her and, and I'm like, and we sitting there talking, I'm like, man, I'm digging her because I feel like she's like on my level.
Okay.
And, like she was a speaker up and coming,
like, this is
really
good.
dope.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I said, man, I'm separated and we filed this and that. And so she's talking about she filed for divorce, man. And I'm just like, man, I'm like, I said, she's like, Jay, what's up, man? Like, I mean, like, are you not feeling me? I said, I'm feeling you, but I cannot negate what I'm picking up.
Which was what?
I said, you guys are gonna do away with this divorce thing and y'all can get back together.
Oh my gosh.
She was so like, we not getting back together. We filed and da-da-da. I was like, man, I said, I hear you. She got mad. She's like, you just don't want to give me a chance because of my situation, da-da-da. I said, I'm not judging you. But I said, I cannot, man. And it was so hard for me because anybody who really moves with integrity with their gift, because there's times God has shown me things and it's not meant for you to release.
Yeah, we talked about that.
I believe in operating in wisdom. And she kept picking up. She was like, Jay, I feel like you just not saying. And I said, man, so we stopped talking.
You like things together still to this day.
So hold on, we stopped talking. Hold on, B. We stopped talking, right? Nigga, several months later, I go on her page. Look what God has restored. Like, bro, and you finna get my feelings and my heart all entangled.
Look what God has restored.
I'm like, so listen, I hit her up and said congratulations.
Told you,
I said congratulations, and I'm not a person who, but cause see, I'm gonna tell you why God did that, because I'm not gonna lie. The more I was talking to her, it was pulling me in.
It was a protection.
It was a protection and God was like, no, you're doing too much, big dog. Like, because people like us, man, when we meet people that meet us where we are, it'll draw you.
Because it's rare. So you instantly like, that could be your best friend. That could just be your friend for a season. Everybody ain't your husband.
Man.
You know, or everybody isn't supposed to be a romantic partner. That's true. God places people in your life. But when you find somebody that's like, man, they get it, you instantly.
Man, and you got to be so careful, man. Because my Crystal, she did my podcast, my manager, Crystal, because people use this like, how did you work with Jay and this and that, blah, blah, blah. She says, baby, you can't smash the help.
Oh, Lord. Wow.
Because sometimes people are drawn to us for us to help them in whatever way that God has called it. And it's not calls for a romantic connection.
That's it.
And now, this is where you have to move with wisdom because you're still human. And this is why I don't like when church talk about when they talk about relationship, we don't talk about the science of who we are as human. We need connection as human beings.
100%. Yeah.
So you have to be careful because you can still feel something here, but still use the wisdom here. Yeah. And say, you know what? Like, I'm digging her, but then again, the wisdom is that she's not in that season.
Okay.
And I think sometimes we're not aware enough to understand and differentiate between when people are available and when people are vulnerable.
Okay.
Because some people can be vulnerable in their availability. There's also a level of vulnerability that they haven't healed. And I talked about this on my pod about meeting a girl, because I'm like, and I had to say this to God, why am I always meeting women who come out of marriages? Like,
I went through a season where married men would approach me a lot. I'm like, what is happening? Is this something that I have to break off from my family? Is this a generational thing? Like,
how did you manage that?
I thought it was something about me. I'm like, why am I attracting married men? That is like, and I'm like, is this like a thing? Like, was my mom, my daddy, like, were these things in my family? I don't know. Like, it was a season where I would go out. I'm like, I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go sit at, lounge. I'm gonna be intentional. My husband's not gonna break in. So I gotta be out, go somewhere. I'm not in a club, but let me go to a lounge or a bar. Just, married man, everywhere.
Now, did they say that they were married?
They would have their rings on and they would just approach me.
Wow.
And eventually we would talk about their wives and their children.
See, mine was the opposite. It's like, okay, cool. We'll be chopping it up, and you know what I'm saying? And like, I done got the number and have a conversation. And then all of a sudden, well, I'm kind of going through, and I'm like,
you catching them on the tail end.
I'm catching on the tail end.
Yep.
I'm like, what?
Yep.
And I'm literally like, what is going on? So do you think, Because I feel like we have this type of spirit that draws people who are looking to be filled.
Wow. I never even thought about that. 100%. I know that's one of that. It's a gift and it could be a curse if I don't steward it. If I'm blind and I'm not understanding who to pour, how to pour, the boundaries to set, it's a saving thing. Because I'm a visionary. I can see like, you have this, let's go, get up, come on. Like you can, what? You want to write a book? Okay, we need to, like I have the vision. So I try to pour that vision into everybody I see around me, no matter who they are. My friend Shekinah, shout out to Shekinah, I love you. One of my best friends, she's like, you have the gift of faith. You believe like nobody else believes.
I see that thing, I'm standing on it.
Faith. I don't know how, I don't know when, I just know it's gonna happen. I believe it.
Man, listen.
So, and I see that for other people.
And if I release that thing, it's done.
It's done. If I believe it, it's gonna happen.
It's done. It's gonna happen. Me and my best friend, we just bought one of the largest mental health practice here in Dallas.
Wow, congrats.
4 locations. And when I met with the owner, I took the postcard and put it in my Bible. God said, put it in the Bible and close it. And I said, God, if this is meant for us to have it, you do it. And I said, my faith is that I know how much the business costs. I know how much we bring in together. But I said, I'll leave it alone. And so I know that I have the ability to see something and to stand on it. And I don't need to know how it's going to happen.
That's it.
And so I feel like people, men and women, because a lot of people are married and they're not being filled. So there's holes in their cups.
100% broken. You know what? I do this at the airport. I people watch. Right? We travel so much. So you probably do the same thing. I don't know. But if you don't, next time you get on a flight,
I do.
I'm like, you just hear these couples. I'm like, none of these couples are happy.
And they're not in alignment.
They're not in alignment. They're irritated with each other. And granted, they are traveling. Traveling is very stressful.
Yep.
I don't know. They're them from a can of paint. But I just people watch. I'll be in like the Delta Lounge or like at my gate and I just watch couples. I'm like, man, God, if you don't send me my purpose mate, who we have aligned to come together for the kingdom, let me be okay. Don't let me settle to just say I have somebody because of society standards. These people are broken and unhappy. And, you end up being with the person that God didn't call you to.
Yep.
That making a mistake in a marriage. And now it's like, you done made this covenant before God. Figure it out. So I just never want that to be me.
And then also the other part of that is being with somebody that is envious what God has placed in you.
Jesus.
I have a lot of female friends that are like gifted, and they're with men that are jealous of them.
Man.
And I said that's scary to me because
that's terrifying.
I'm the only boy, and I pour into my sisters and my female friends like no other.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to understand when they're telling me like, well, Jay, he won't do this, or Jay, he said this, or you know what I'm saying? And they throwing little jabs at them because they're driven and I just think, and then like you said, by the time you're in covenant, it's too late.
It's too late.
Because now you're sleeping with the enemy.
You laying down to somebody that's jealous of you.
You
laying down next to somebody that's jealous of you. That is terrifying.
Man, you got a vision and the thing won't get off the ground because the man
who
in
you
your
in covenant
bed.
with. Lord. Okay.
So my prayer for you and all the rest of the sisters who God has placed purpose in is to not be entangled with somebody that does not see what God has placed in you. And not only do they stifle that they now become the antagonists. And that's my prayer, that you do not yoke up with somebody that don't see what God has placed in you.
Inside of you.
Because see, if you don't see what God has placed in you, you're going to be a stumbling block for me.
100%.
You're going to be the very snares that
100%.
the scripture
holding me back.
That holding me back.
Okay.
And I experienced that early on in dating, and I'm in my 30s, like, because I was a visionary. And I remember telling this woman, I said, God told me to go back to school to be a therapist. The first thing she said, they only make $65,000 a year. I was like,
well,
I
didn't even look that up yet.
Yeah,
God just told me to do
yeah,
it.
and I wasn't tripping, but
yeah.
I'm gonna tell you this. I dated women, and I say this, you know, in full transparency, like I dated women that the enemy would use to break me. Because no matter my testimony of surviving 2 suicide attempts and all that, there was still this confidence that God had placed in me that he was going to do something with me when I made a decision to give my life back to him. And I would meet women that the more I talked about what God had showed me, like they were literally not trying to kill me physically, but kill me mentally.
Your dreams,
and it
your
was
gift,
like,
your vision, all those
why
things.
you want to do that? And I never forget this one girl said, you think you better? And I was like, no. I'm just sharing. And this is what I learned too. When God show us things, shut your mouth.
It's not for everybody.
It's not for everybody.
Be quiet. Be quiet.
Mama Mary, I love you. My mama, I love her because she used to do this as a kid. And I told her, I said, I didn't understand that until I became an adult. She said, baby,
be quiet.
Sometimes you got to be quiet because not everybody is praying. Some people are praying.
That's it.
E-Y. P-R-E-Y. And I didn't understand it because people like us, we want everybody to get it. And I'm learning now, even in this season, that as God is elevating me, I have to do this. Because as you're doing this, people don't want to see you thrive. People don't want to see you evolve beyond the chatter.
That's it.
They want to see you all bent down,
curled up,
broken up. I just can't go on. Ain't nobody doing that.
Okay.
Ain't nobody doing that.
That is a moment. That might be a moment. That might be a second. I have those feelings of sadness, of anger, of all those things. I cry. That is a moment.
And
that
that's
is
why,
not a.
And can I say this to affirm you? That's why I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I'm telling you, I'm telling you this.
Let's try this again.
As God continue, and I feel this, as God continue to elevate you, I'm praying that as the audience get bigger and the audit grows, meaning that people are wanting to say this, that you learn to do this.
That's it.
And you can shut out the noise and you only hear his voice and you only feel his hand. Because there'll be seasons where you have got to walk blindly to where he's just telling you, turn right, turn left. And my prayer is that as he expands your ministry, because this is ministry, that you keep overcoming. That's it. That they wonder why we can't kill her. We can't get her to go away. Ooh, you're not, because when he's called you to it, no devil in hell can stop it. That's it. When he's called you, when he's appointed, when he's put his hands on you, I'm telling you, I'm a living witness. When he has called you, there's nothing, no devil in hell, no conversation, no thought, no whisper can stop it when God has put it in motion. Don't you stop for nothing and nobody. God is using you. Everything he allows you to go through was intentional. And I know it hurts because I know what it's like to be cut and then to be accused and to be broken by people you helped build and put together. People who you spoke life in is now the same people that are trying to kill you. And you think about, and it's like, why? And what God is saying is that the grapes has to be crushed to become wine.
That's it.
And what I've learned, B, is that you're going to be wine a lot longer than you will be grapes.
Man.
So you allow the crushing to happen. And God is saying, I'm not doing this to hurt you. I'm doing this because whom I crush, I've given much to. And that's not biblical. I don't want to put, I'm saying, but when he crushes you, you have greatness in you. Because I've yet to see anybody that's been called to do something great and they haven't been crushed.
That's it. It comes with it.
So you are wine. You've gone through the crushing. There's nothing that can be done, that can be said, that's going to stop you because God's hand is on your life, because you're allowing God to speak through you. And here's what I work on every day is how can I fit more into his hands to be used as an instrument?
That's it.
That's it.
That was literally my prayer before we started. Thank you for that, by the way.
Yes,
Like,
I had to
I was
give
like,
that
I'm
to
not
you.
gonna cry today.
I
Already
had to
crying.
give that to you.
Just remove me, remove b.simone, remove my flesh, and just let me walk in what you want me to do and what you've called me to do on this platform. Somebody spoke to me about, let's try this again. They're like, you're a living test. You're literally, God gave you that name because that's what you have to do over and over and
Baby,
over.
we all
publicly.
doing that.
Yeah.
All doing that.
Yeah.
All doing that. We're starting over again.
Yeah.
And here's the thing that I love about starting over. You're not starting from scratch.
That's it.
You're not starting
That's
from scratch.
it. You're not starting from scratch.
You have everything you need.
Yeah.
And then two, God is sending you people who love you for you.
Yeah.
God is sending you people who want to see you win. People who are celebrating your growth and not doing this.
Yes.
I celebrate your growth, Black woman.
Thank you.
I'm so sick and tired of seeing us do this back and forth, but I thank God that He allows me to pour, because when I think about how God has allowed Black women to support me, from Taraji, from Tracy, from my manager Hope, from Crystal, my mother, so many women have stood with me
So
when I
powerful.
couldn't stand for myself. And so how dare I not be able to pour into you publicly? Because see, it's one thing to say something about somebody private, but we need to start publicly affirming each other. That's what the world needs to see more, not more of this, I gotta put a video up and say, well, she going through this, y'all, she said this. We need more of like, keep going, Black woman. Because we need your testimony. Jesus was in these streets ministering. He wasn't sitting behind no computer. Making content off of what somebody else said and making respond. He was in the streets ministry.
That's it.
And that's what we doing. So I just had to get that off my chest, sister.
Thank you.
Get that off my
You made me
chest.
cry. Well, this was a beautiful first date.
Yes it was. Yes, it was.
Tell me about your book.
So
I want to wrap up.
I brought this book for you. How I got started in mental health is I started mentoring girls in group homes.
So powerful. Okay.
And the girls that I mentored,
What was the age?
they were 10 through 17.
Wow.
So
young.
one of my gifts is programs. I can write programs.
Okay.
I can see a program. I can write it out from weeks, create objectives, create the addendum, create the practical, the teaching, concepts, all of that. And I created this program, and I was in Houston, and I was in several group homes for girls, and these girls was victims of sex trafficking. And then I went into the schools in South Park in Houston, which is a low income area. And they allowed me to come into the schools. And after the girls, I was calling them queens, and the program was the We Project, Women of Excellence. And one of the young girls said, Mr. J, I love your program, but can you create something for us? So again, Black woman supporting me, working with a lady who was my publicist at the time. And she said, Jay, I sent her notes on some stuff that I write. She said, you need to write a girl's book. I said, no, I don't want to hear from no man about no girl's book. She said, Jay, it'll work. So I wrote Letters to a Young Queen, which is a compilation of letters and poems for young girls.
I love that.
And what it did was, and I wrote this book 10 years ago.
Okay.
In 2015. Yep, 2015, wrote this book 10 years ago.
Okay.
Layla Ali, a good friend of mine, started promoting and talking about it because she had been, and I think she had been in group homes, but she had talked about her adolescent years, and I brought this book because as you're healing, as you're pouring into other women, there's a little girl in you that always needs to be encouraged.
That's it.
And so hopefully these letters and these poems, I know they will, because there's people who still like, man, you know, the girls are all grown now that I work with.
Yeah.
And they'll DM me like, Mr. J, I still read your book, man, because we need constant reminders. Because, you know, the challenging thing about what I do now is that we make what we do look easy. And there's days where I have gotten on stage and encouraged people and needed encouragement.
100%.
So this is my
100%.
gift to you.
I love this. I can't wait to read it.
Yeah, it's 10 years ago.
Okay.
Now I done signed a book deal and get ready for a book.
Right.
You know,
you have a book coming out, right? Or did you
in 2027.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Pursuing pace, but
So
yes,
it's coming.
I'm walking out.
Planning ahead 2027. I don't know what I'm doing next week. He's like, yeah, 2035.
Yeah, and so
Okay.
so I was just like, you know what? I was
you.
walking out of the house and some said, give this to her because that's the one thing that I've learned about who I am as a man. Mm-hmm. The little boy still needs to be
nurtured and loved and watered. And yeah, thank you for this.
Yes.
Letters to a young queen. Before we go, I just want you to go ahead and tap in with the audience with the tangible steps to if they are on their healing journey. Because, like we talked about that before, that people get inspired and motivated and they're like, well, I listened to this amazing podcast. What can I do when I turn this podcast off? There's a lot of women out there that are on their healing journey. They want to get closer to God and they want to grow and they want to let go, but they just feel paralyzed. They feel stuck. They feel like maybe it's too late. They feel like they can't move. What would you say to them?
So I want to say this to the women in the audience is healing has to take place in a community. Okay. It's communal. Okay. I think oftentimes, and I see this a lot, in my office where, lady goes through a breakup and all of a sudden she's in isolation. And I'll say this, baby, you don't know you heal until you're in the next relationship, truth be told. Because the relationship becomes a mirror. You know what I mean? And so you don't know if you actually heal from rejection until you don't get what you want.
How do you react now? Or
how do you
does it
react
show
now?
Up now? Yeah.
So you have to be in community to heal. Healing is also intentional. You have to be intentional with how you open yourself up or where you open yourself up. Understanding the difference between sharing and disclosing. One is transparency and one is vulnerability. And so to my ladies, because I know y'all love to get on these apps and like, baby, I'm just going to encourage you. Know where you can share and know where you can disclose. Not everybody has the capacity to hold the very intricacies of your heart, even in your own female circles. And then I would also encourage you, just as Naomi, as Ruth had Naomi, a lot of ladies today, and I'm going to say this because don't want y'all, find you a Naomi. Find you an older sister that can pour into you, not take from you, not exploit you.
She doesn't need anything.
Doesn't need anything. Because I have Bishop Jakes, I have Bishop Borders, I have Alfred, and then I also have other men that I pour. It should always, you should be poured into and then be poured into somebody. I feel like a lot of ladies don't have a seasoned woman in their life to pour into them.
Yes, they're the poorer, but they don't have.
So a lot of women today, they end up being the poorer in their circles, and then their circles can't meet them where they are because they haven't not grown and leveled up, and then they don't have the capacity, honestly. And so be careful where you share. And then lastly is remain curious. What I mean by curious, one of the things as a therapist, like they tell us all through school, never lose your curiosity. Always, it doesn't have to be the or, it can be the and. So remain curious and say, who can you become? Mm-hmm. And I'm not just talking about, from girl, I done glow up, I got the makeup, I got the hair, I got the job. Like, who can you become? How can you take what God has given you? How can you take what you learn and then say, what can I do with this, God? And I'm not saying go and teach and go start a podcast, but how can you give that? Because somebody asked me, my mother, we was having a conversation, she said, I listen to when you do these things, and she said, you have such depth, Jay. You just got. The reason God keep giving me more because I keep giving it out.
That's it.
And we should be a river and not a reservoir. So things should be flowing through us and not us holding things. And so, and again, I give you those steps. You need a community to heal. And then you want to be intentional in your healing. You want to understand, where do you share? Where do you disclose? Because you can't be vulnerable with everybody. You can't be vulnerable with everybody. That's the one thing that I know as a man, we fear.
Yeah.
Because what are you going to do with what I've shared you? Because when I'm vulnerable with you, I've just given you the greatest power.
Yep.
There is.
Yep.
You know, and remain curious. Don't just search one place. Allow God to take you different places. You know what I mean? Like, my ex, I talk about her because she helped me heal because she was a hugger. Like, that girl, every time I come in, hugs. I'm like, bruh. And what I'm saying, and what I'm saying about being curious, even though we're not together, I always talk to. She'll reach out to me. She's like, "Nigga, you had a hug this week?"
Yeah.
I'd be like, "Nah, you know I've been on this road, man."
Yeah.
But she changed my perception because I became curious. So I researched what hugs do to humans.
Healing.
The average human need 4 to 6 hugs a day to survive.
Wow.
It manages our mental health.
Wow.
Because that serotonin gives us connection. And so I became more curious to where, like, me and my homeboys, we were like, hey, bro, let's just beat up, man. Just hug it out. You know what I'm saying?
I love that.
Because it also allows us to feel belonging.
Yeah.
People are suffering right now because they don't have community.
Yeah.
So
good.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
so
man,
powerful.
this is good.
Oh, wow.
It's not bad for our first date.
I know. You don't get your hug later. It's about 4 black men behind here. We all gonna hug after this. Y'all give me some hugs.
Get these hugs, brothers.
Okay.
Look at my brother over there, man.
Like, I'll take one.
Man, look, he need it.
Hug somebody today. Go hug somebody. Hug a stranger. Hug somebody at Whole Foods, at the gas station. Just hug somebody.
Be careful at the gas station.
I know. I thought about that. I was like, don't get shanked.
Yeah, these folks doing some weird stuff.
Thank you, Dr. J. Y'all, another episode of Let's Try This Again. This was so powerful. Put in the comments. Let me know if you want me to bring him back, what y'all want to discuss more. This was just phenomenal. I thank you so much for your transparency and your just story and your honesty. And you're a preacher.
Thank you.
A powerful
Man,
you're a bishop.
Stop. Don't do that. No, do not. I am Dr. J right now.
Just what would you name your church?
What?
Let's just,
Oh, God.
But he already got the name.
No, I do not. No, I'm not answering this question because I'm not putting that in the atmosphere. Not right now. No. God, I like being on the road. I like evangelizing. No, I do not want to deal with folks. Not in that level.
The traveling preacher, the traveling bishop right here. Signing out, b.simone. I am your host. Thank you so much. Seriously, all levity aside. Powerful, powerful brother, man. If you don't know who he is, if you have not heard his podcast, please check it out. I got to listen to a few episodes. I got to look up the one with Taraji. I saw the clips on YouTube. Just powerful. Powerful. What you're doing for the youth, what you're doing in our community is just amazing. It inspires me, to just give back even more than I already have and just continue on that journey. Like you said, always be curious. So thank you for taking your time and just coming to Let's Try This Again. You guys, I will see you guys next week. The audio drops every Monday, YouTube every Tuesday. Signing out. Bye.